If I asked you how many decisions you had made today, what would the number be? 10, 15, 100, 1,000? We are making decisions with this beautiful machine of ours in between our ears constantly in every moment of our day. Now, some of those decisions are automated. For example, if I asked you which leg did you use to put on your pants this morning, and pants can be whichever country you're in. I'm Australian, so pants mean one thing in Australia, underpants, pants mean something else in the UK. Whichever pants it is, you would have to stop and think, right? Which leg did I use to put my pants on? But that, believe it or not, was once upon a time a decision that you had to make. And now it is in your system, which is automated. And there's a whole nother system going on which requires conscious effort. Now, the brain loves to create shortcuts. It loves for us to be able to put something into that automated system. So we're talking about how do we improve the quality of our decision making, not related to how we get dressed in the morning, but maybe more around our career, the choices we're making in our personal relationships, our health. So there's this really interesting new concept that is being researched called decision fatigue. Now, what does that actually mean? If you can imagine that through the course of the day, you are making X number of decisions. Now, towards the end of the day, there is a biological price that you will pay. Okay, so that dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is here, is doing a lot of conscious thinking. And at some point, there's a price that will be paid. Now, you're not going to feel tired of making decisions necessarily like you would feel physically tired. But what you might start doing is making sloppy or reckless decisions. Okay, this is a shortcut that the brain will make. Oh, I'm just going to send that email. And you're not necessarily making a good decision around it. Or you might end up not making a decision at all. Okay, so for any of you that are procrastinators and you're just at the point where you just can't make a decision at all. So this is what we're starting to see play out in terms of decision fatigue. Sports people, towards the end of a game may be making mistakes around decisions that they're making of how they're going to play. CEOs making, not high quality decisions towards the end of the day. A piece of really scary research that they did looking at parolees and the likelihood of them getting parole in the morning, specifically at 9:10, 70% of them got parole versus 10% in the late afternoon. And obviously they took out a whole lot of other correlates to back up this research. So what does it mean for us if we're trying to make better decisions, higher quality decisions? There are three things that I want you to consider. One is, if you've got a big decision to make it earlier in the day, when that brain of yours is firing on all cylinders. And I mean first thing. So for example, you want to ask for a promotion. You're like, put it off. I'll just, I'll think on it a little bit. No, sleep on it, refresh, book that meeting for 9:00 in the morning with your manager. Secondly is remove as many obstacles as possible in order to make that decision. So for example, if we take something in your personal life, if you are wanting to go to the gym, you need to remove as many of those decisions in the morning. And one of the key things to doing that is laying your clothes out the night before. Another thing that people do that you will see consistently, successful entrepreneurs, business people, celebrities, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Steve Jobs of the world, they will wear a uniform. So actually, they are taking that decision out of their day. It's one less decision that they have to make. That is what they wear, and they don't have to think about it. And then finally, the third thing, which is a little deeper, I want you to start to recognize what some of your patterns are emotionally in your decision making. So this is going to require some reflection time from you to say, firstly, recognize that you might think you're being logical in that decision that you're making about whether you go for that job or whether you ask that girl or boy out, but actually the emotional piece of it that is happening below consciousness is driving that decision making much more than the logic that you're applying in that moment. So that will require some reflection and recognizing what some of those emotions and patterns might be? So there are 3 ways for you to look at improving the quality of your decision making. And one of my favorite quotes, if you will, is do not make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. So as always, if nobody else tells you today, let me be the one to tell you. I am grateful for you. Thank you for letting me be a part of your day, and thank you for being a part of my world.